Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the round table. My name is Ben Hedges and I'm in the studio with Holly Kellum. Welcome, Holly.
Good to be here, Ben.
So we have some pretty incredible footage, which has never been seen before, right? This has only just been released. We have footage of the Titan submarine, which obviously you probably in the audience all know that it imploded last year when it was going on a dive to explore the Titanic. And there's all sorts of controversies surrounding it. But the US Coast Guard has been holding a public hearing, which started on Monday. And they actually showed this footage of the tail cone of the submarine for the first time this week. It's never been seen before. So first of all, let's just check out this footage, all right? We'll have a look.
Yeah.
All right, so this is the ROV Odysseus 6K, which is the submersible that went down to the bottom of the ocean to find the wreck. And there you go.
Wow, it's amazing that there's actually something that big left of it. I would have thought that it would just be in tiny pieces now.
So this is the tail cone, which wouldn't have been pressurized. So, but the actual pressurized capsule was in front of this. And I assume that has completely been destroyed. But this one would have just fallen off the back, I guess, because the pressure was equal inside out. It was, yeah, and there you can see the OCeanGate logo on the side.
Were they ever able to recover a black box from this?
Yeah, I don't believe that there was a black box because the owner, Stockton Rush, he cut a lot of corners in the manufacture of this submarine, right? So he had, well, I mean, first of all, he had a game controller, a wireless game controller made by Logitech that was designed for PlayStation or something. He was controlling the sub's thrusters using that controller.
Only that?
Only that. And it was wireless. It was connected by a Wi-Fi network inside the sub to the subsystem.
And anyone who works with tech knows that like wireless is so risky.
It can go down, yeah. Wi-Fi, anything
there's
Wi-Fi.
So much interference that can happen.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so, you know, and also he had a carbon fiber hull and the sub had never been tested in a high pressure chamber, you know, designed for testing submarines. Never done that testing. And one of the issues with the hull was that it would get degraded each time, right? So it would get, it gets damaged each time. There would be cracking on every dive. And
wait, so, but the owner was going down in this
He was, yes.
But he wasn't aware of this? Or?
He was aware. So he had sensors in the hull to detect cracking. But the problem was it wasn't cumulative on every dive. It was as if it went back to normal after each dive, the way the sensors worked. So they would detect cracking and...
But he should have known.
Right, he should have been saying, oh, we can only do so many dives, but they weren't. It was as if, in his mind, it went back to normal. Anyway, let's move on to the next part of this, because at these hearings where the footage was released, there's actually a whistleblower who called David Lockridge, who was their former operations developer at OCeanGate. And he actually quit, well, he was fired in 2018 after he had raised concerns of potential safety problems. They ignored him, they fired him, and then they sued him because he presumably had an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, and he wanted to go public with the story, so they sued him for disclosing company secrets. He then filed back with a wrongful dismissal lawsuit, and he's actually testified at this hearing this week for the first time. And then, you know, court documents from the cases he was involved in show major concerns with the Titan's design. So the fact that it was made from carbon fiber, warning that the material would damage further with every dive, which is what we were just talking about, right? There was no way for them to measure the cumulative damage, but they could measure it on each dive, and they weren't adding up how much it was degrading when you add all the dives together. And he told the Coast Guard investigators that the whole idea of OCeanGate was to make money, basically. There was very little in the way of science, he said.
Oh dear, that's very disturbing. But again, the owner was going down in it.
He was, right.
So
he was. So the owner obviously believed in it himself.
He a nut job, or did he actually really believe in it?
I think he was probably in denial about it. I mean, yeah. Mr. Lockridge, he also said that, you know, he accused him of arrogance the CEO. He accused the CEO of arrogance.
Say hubris in this case.
Hubris? Yeah, what's hubris? I don't know what that is.
It just means like an overconfidence in your abilities.
Yeah, I think you could say that. Well, apparently he refused to work with the University of Washington to develop the Titan, which he was originally going to do. And they did all the engineering in-house. They thought they could do it on their own. And obviously, because this was in international waters, there was kind of a loophole here that you didn't have to have the submarine certified. If you were doing a dive in US waters, like within, I think, 12 miles or something of the shore, that you would have to have it, certified by some governing body. Because it was in international waters, he could basically do what he wanted, and anyone who was willing to take the risk would just pay him.
But he did get a lot of people to take the risk, including, I think there was a billionaire on board at the time that it went down. I mean, these were not, your average Joe people.
Pakistani billionaire and his son. A certain, explorer as well. I mean, people were paying 200,000 British pounds, so about $250,000.
Wow.
And he'd done several dives before. But yes, sadly, that was the final dive.
Yeah.
Would you go down in such a machine?
Definitely not. I actually, I went up in one of those little trek planes one time, and the very next day, the tail of the plane detached, and the pilot died.
The plane that you were on?
Yes, just the day before.
Wow.
So I am very risk averse when it comes to these types of things. I do not go up in experimental airplanes anymore, and I would not go into to the Titanic in what we know now is an experimental submersible.
Yeah, I don't think I would even go in a tried and tested submersible, to be honest. I think I'm fine with my feet just on the ground.
Yeah, terra firma is a good place to be.
Right. But what do you guys think? Would you go down in such a machine? I mean, I don't think you would, but hey, just leave your comments below.
No, I think a lot of people would, actually.
Who would visit the Titanic?
See the Titanic?
Yeah, let us know. Or maybe you'd do it in a tried and tested, certified submarine.
Yeah, right.
And guys, if you're new to our channel, do follow the show, The Round Table, for more videos like this several times a week. And Holly also has a channel as well.
Yes, Newspeak. Newspeak_show is the channel name.
Where she talks about how the media are brainwashing. I mean, she talks about, analyzing how the media report on things.
I cover the media.
She covers the media. We'll put her icon on screen now. You can go and check it out if you like. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.